What's up guys, Trilogy here. Today we're going to be doing another manga chapter breakdown, and we are working on One Piece, and I don't do a lot of One Piece content because there's so many One Piece content creators out there. It seems like it's impossible to really, get any traction, but I was running out of video ideas, and I just got chapter 1045 today, and I just want to talk about it and the implications of Luffy's Devil Fruit reveal and how it really changes like the impact of the story and whatnot. So first off, chapter 1044. Actually, let's go back. End of chapter 1043. Luffy is in Gear 4 facing Kaido. It looks like it's about to be the final blow. Then we have that punk CPO representative sent by the Gorosei to take Luffy out. All of a sudden, so one thing about this reveal, the government knows, the Gorosei know that Luffy has this Zoan legendary Nika model human fruit. So they know that. I'm not sure when they would have figured that out, because you know what? Luffy was small time for a little bit. He was small. He came from the East Blue, and then all of a sudden, he was the most famous pirate in the East Blue. Then he took down Crocodile. Then he broke into Impel Down. Then he did this, he did that. He was at Marineford. Why was Luffy not the number 2 target at Marineford? He was vulnerable. If he was so important, why did they stop the war when Shanks showed up? That's what really doesn't make sense to me. I'm not necessarily calling it a plot hole. Maybe they didn't know that Luffy's fruit was that fruit. It's possible that there actually is a rubber fruit that's similar to the effects that the human sun god fruit has. Because otherwise, you hear about this kid out there who's a pirate, and he has a straw hat, which there's some significance on the straw hat that we really still haven't found out about. We don't know if it's a Joy Boy straw hat or what, but you would think that he would just be a very important target, take him out while he's weak. But there's also the other side of it. They say Luffy's Devil Fruit hasn't awoken in 800 years, so okay, Luffy has the fruit. What makes you think he's gonna awaken it? Well, first off, he took down Arlong, and then he took down Crocodile, and then he took down Gecko Moria, which I'm running out of order, I'm sorry. He took down Doflamingo. He destroyed the Smile Fruits on Punk Hazard. He did all this, and he did that and the other, and you're just like, he probably won't awaken it. He's not part of the worst generation. He's not the 5th emperor. He doesn't have one of the highest bounties in the world. When are we gonna worry about Luffy? You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, it doesn't make sense to me that they would know that Luffy has this fruit and they wouldn't act until now, at this moment, when it's too late. It's too late. You had all this time. You had like 3 years of story time to take Luffy out. Mind you, he was missing for like 2 years of that. Still, they should have been devoted to every resource. They should have told Fujitora, the admiral on Dressrosa, no, don't let that man leave. Take him out. They should have, I don't know. If they had, and then the thing is, the world government is so secretive. If they had told the admirals these things, the admirals would have been more proactive. You know what? I forget, Kizaru. No, is Kizaru the ice one or the light one? I'm sorry, I get them, no, Kizaru, because I get the first names and the last names mixed up. So I know Akanu is the lava, and then we know Okiji, he is the ice one. And I don't know if Kizaru is the ice one's first name or if he's the light admiral. So I'm just gonna call him the light admiral. The light admiral could have killed him on Sabodi Archipelago. He could have killed him there. We could have killed him then. The guy with the paw fruit, Kuma, he could have killed him. All these people could have killed him. Akiji froze Luffy to death and left him on an island. If he knew about the fruit's power, we could have taken him out so many times. But the information was not distributed. We just know that he's Dragon's son. That's it. On top of that, he's Dragon's son. So you just thought nothing was going to come out of that. not only is he Dragon's son, he's Garp's grandson. He's Garp's grandson. You know, one of the greatest Marines of all time. You just thought nothing was gonna come out of him getting this fruit. On top of that, he was raised by Red Hair Shanks, which, to be fair, they might not know that. He was trained by Silver Rayleigh. They might not know that either. He's the half-brother of Ace, which, to be fair, Ace isn't that crazy. I mean, Ace is cool and all, but come on. I mean, you add this and you add that, and it's just like, when are we gonna worry about the fruit? When are we gonna worry about it? It just seems kind of like a plot hole, or it's just kind of stretched, you know? That's just me. Anyways, at the end of that chapter, we see Luffy just laying there. He's slumped out, and then all of a sudden he just grins. And it's a big grin, boy. And then you see the stuff all covering his eyes, and you're just like, what is that? What is that? And then chapter 1044 comes out. I did my best to avoid spoilers. Chapter 1044 comes out, and we see Luffy up and about. He says, what's going on? Why am I still able to fight? This is Gear 5, which, mind you, Luffy has no idea what's going on right now. We, as the readers, know that his transformation is a Zoan transformation because we're hearing the Gorosei talk, you know, the CPO agents and stuff like that. Luffy is just like, what is this? I can fight? I can fight still? Let's go take out that boy Kaido because he was talking all that good stuff. You know, he left me up here for dead, and we're going to go finish this fight. So Luffy shows up. He's doing this weird stuff. He's animated like a cartoon character. And the thing is, I watched a video on how to explain his power-up. It's just like, you know, Bugs Bunny, he's a cartoon, you know what I'm saying? Like, picture him in Space Jam. He's doing all that cartoon stuff. Luffy is able to do that cartoon animated stuff in his world, you know what I'm saying? Because his world they would treat the animation as if it's real life. But Luffy is able to do like Looney Tunes type stuff now. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. And then getting into chapter 1045, we see some even crazier stuff. But on 1044, he just shows up, and Kaido, you know, Kaido has a little bit of a fighting code. Like, he respects the strong, if you're not aware. Like, when Odin was injured, he let him heal before they fought. And then the CPO agent, after he broke into that fight, Kaido went bink, took that guy out. We don't know if he's dead or what. He's off screen right now. But, I mean, Kaido kind of has a code, and he's just like, hey, sorry the fight ended like that. I didn't mean for that to happen, you know. Luffy said, no sweat. Let's finish it now. And that leads us up. So that's the end of chapter 1043, chapter 1044. And now we're in 1045, which is a great number. I like the number 45. I like the number 10. 1045 is great. So we have Luffy on the top. This title is called Next Level. So we have Luffy. He said, I was sure I was a goner after that. He said, I was sure you were a goner after that. So Kaido's talking about, I thought you were dead, or you were done for. Luffy was like, I thought I was too. And then Kaido says, since you're able to make your surroundings rubbery, I would say that you've awakened your devil fruit. So with that in mind, he actually specifically says your paramecia fruit. So with that in mind, it kind of makes us understand how awakenings work better, because we're always like, what is this awakening ability? What is this awakening ability? So with most paramecias, with this in mind, they're going to be able to change their surroundings. So we've really only seen it from Kirakura, the pudding guy, not pudding, it's like, I don't know the name of it. It's not umami. I don't know what to call it. It was food. It was also a paramecia, even though he had the abilities kind of similar of a Logia. And then we also saw the same thing with Doflamingo, when they basically, whenever they awaken their fruit, they can control their environments with the attributes of their fruit attribute. But Kaido says, but something feels off. This is more like a Zoan type transformation. Luffy says, But he's really not even worried about it right now, because Luffy is just worried about this fight. So I think that's pretty cool. So yeah, I want to talk about how this change kind of, and the other people have said it already, but I agree with it, you know. I want to talk about how this change basically changes the dynamic of the One Piece story. So From the beginning, Luffy has always been seen like an underdog. His fruit is supposed to suck. He's from the East Blue. Despite all the things that I mentioned earlier that Luffy has accomplished, he was supposed to be a weakling. I mean, Ace was supposed to be a stronger big brother. He was short, he was young. He only had 4 people in his pirate crew. He had no pirate crew. Like, Luffy has always been seen as the underdog. And now that they've given him this super powerful fruit, it makes it seem like everything Luffy has done so far is easier because of the fruit that he has. But that isn't the case. This fruit has literally only given him rubber abilities. Like, everything that Luffy has accomplished with this fruit, he's had to train for it. It wasn't given to him. Even this power-up, which hasn't been awoken in 800 years, Luffy had to put the work into it. Like, we haven't learned how the awakening has been caused. Like, is it like an Ultra Instinct thing where Goku just awoken it one day after training? We don't know. This is the first time he's using it. He doesn't even know what it is. He called it Gear 5, but it's an awakening state. So I honestly don't think this is Gear 5, even though that's what Luffy is saying. It's kind of like, you know, like an unreliable narrator. Luffy doesn't know that this is awakening, so he's calling it Gear 5. But if anyone was going to name the gears, it would be Luffy, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, is it Gear 5? Is it Awakening? We won't know probably until this whole fight is over. So we see Kaido attack. He basically just swallows Luffy, and Luffy just bounces inside of Kaido's body, making Kaido's body like rubber. And then he says balloon, and he expands Kaido's body just like the Gomu Gomu balloon. It's crazy. And it's just crazy. Everyone's looking like, why is Kaido putting on weight? Is this another form of Kaido? And Kaido says, what are you doing? Your body is supposed to be rubber, not mine. And it's just like, I think that's funny. So not only can he change his body and his surroundings into rubber, we say rubber, but we know now that it's kind of not really rubber. It's a rubber-like substance, rubber-like material. And now that it's not rubber, it makes me think like with the whole thing with Enel on Skypiea, Luffy was immune to that because his body was made of rubber. Now it's a rubber-like material, so I guess it has the attributes of rubber still, but it's more enhanced. He can do more stuff than he would be able to do if it was normal rubber. And the craziest thing, Gomu giant boy. The boy just got big. That boy got big. He's so big. He's just cartoonishly towering over Kaido, who is this giant dragon. It's crazy seeing this form. Gomu giant boy. And with the rumors that the next arc is Elbaf, I think this giant form is going to be really useful. We love to see it. He turns into a giant, and he grabs Kaido by the head and tail, and he jump ropes with him. That's crazy, boy. That is crazy. It does seem like after that, Kaido gets ahead of him, and he hits him with a blast breath, and we see Luffy falling. And he just kind of, he does this cartoonishly thing, you know, when someone's falling in a cartoon and they're like, oh, I'm falling. And he just, he runs on the sky to get back to the island. It's crazy how cartoonish this thing is. And he's winding up a Gomu attack. And Kaido hits him with an overhead attack, and his head goes through the floor and his eyes are popping out like a cartoon. It's crazy seeing everyone react to this. It is hilarious seeing that. I can't wait to see this fight animated, honestly. And Kaido says it's something like out of a picture book because that power is crazy. Kaido says, I admit you put on quite a show, but you're at the end of your rope. Luffy says, I'm far from done. And he said, ugh. And that boy just is exhausted. His power-up fades away. And he says, man, I'm beat. Kaido says, what the hell are you? He says, you're right. I am about to croak. And Kaido says, hey, you can rest easy. Even after I kill you, they're going to remember who you are. Like, they're going to tell stories about you. And Luffy says, man, forget that. The only thing left behind after you die is your bones. Which, I don't know if I agree with that because the stories do last. They're still talking about Joy Boy. They're still talking about Roger. They're still talking about all these famous dead Whitebeard, all these other pirates. So I don't know if I agree with that. We switched to Momo and Yamato. They're talking about his voice is fading. And then Luffy says, we're not done yet, isn't that right? Momo, Kinemon, Pedro, and then Kaido says, you're really about to kill yourself. And Luffy powers back up, and he says, after all this, do you think something like death could scare me? That's crazy, boy. And then he says, get loud again, heartbeat. So like, that's it, that's the sound. Like, he powers it up with his heart. Kaido hits him again with his long mace thing or whatever it is. I actually don't know the name of this weapon. And it goes plonk, and it's just, Luffy's face just kind of, it bends like it's rubber, you know what I'm saying? So like, it just folds against his face just like that. And that's crazy. And then he does like this whirlwind attack. I think it's hard to tell in the manga because it's not colored, but he says 0. And then after that, Kaido says, what in the world is this pure white transformation? So he enters like a white transformation, and he's coded in armament and conqueror's haki. He can influence anything around him with his ability. He fights with such freedom, so versatile. I've never seen anything like it. It's super cool. So he's able to influence anything around him, which, when you think about it, sorry, I went painting yesterday. There's paint on my hand. But when you think about this, this makes almost anybody that faces Luffy null and void. He can influence anybody around him. That is crazy, boy. It doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter what their fruit is. Luffy in this state is going to be able to influence them. There's no one in the One Piece world who can take him on while he masters his form, unless there's a major drawback to him using this form. Like when Gear 1 was around, it shortened his lifespan or whatever, which, I mean, we've never seen that, and probably we will never see the consequences of them saying, oh, well, Luffy died young because, you know, he was using Gear 1 a lot before he mastered it. No one's gonna hear that. Which, I mean, they did do the same thing in Legend of Korra with Aang. They were like, yeah, Aang died young because he was like, and he was in a iceberg for a long time. So he's actually really old. Okay. Anyways, there's no one in the One Piece world who can take on Luffy now. Or is there? Blackbeard, boy! He knows Blackbeard, the mastermind, one of the smartest, most clever characters in all of One Piece. Blackbeard's dark devil fruit, or whatever it's freaking called. That thing nullifies devil fruits, remember? Remember? You remember how his ability nullifies devil fruits? Boom! Good job! Now Luffy's gonna have to come up with something else. On top of that, Blackbeard has the Quake fruit, so he has 2 devil fruits. Rumors are he's searching for a 3rd devil fruit. Is he coming for Luffy now that we know that he's a Zoan devil fruit? Is this information gonna be dispersed, you know, with the bird guy who puts out all that information? Or is it gonna be low-key, like a low-key secret? Now that Luffy knows that he has this ability, I'm sure he will be using it more often. So that's just what I'm thinking. But he enters the Zero form, and he basically whacks the hell out of Kaido right in the face and knocks Kaido's hybrid form down. And it says getting pumped, so Luffy is just only powering up while he's using this form. Kaido is getting beat down. I honestly think we'll see like a final push. I think we'll still see him have a final push where he's gonna get up. We're gonna have maybe like a whole chapter of a fight, and then it's gonna be over. This fight does feel like it's getting over. Luffy is getting pumped, but we did see him lose his power for a second, so we don't know if he's actually gonna be able to handle Kaido, you know? Kaido is still Kaido, like he's getting bumped around in this arc, but, I mean, in this chapter, but he's getting used to Luffy's powers, you know, he's understanding them. Kaido ain't an idiot. So I think once Kaido gets a better hold of what's happening, he's gonna be able to handle Luffy better. And I think there's gonna be a final push where Luffy is inevitably going to win. He's the main character, but this isn't the end of it. Luffy says, Kaido, I'm having the time of my life, boy. But yeah, that's it, guys. I just wanted to speak on One Piece for a bit. I haven't done a One Piece video in a long time, but that's what I think of Luffy's new awakening form, his Devil Fruit transition, how it changes the story, what I think has what I think is in store for him in the future. If you have any poison opinions, please let me know down in the comments. I'm Trilogy with Trilogy Effect. We do manga, gaming, all kinds of tech stuff on my channel. We have curated playlists. You should definitely check them out. And with that said, if you want to support the channel, like, comment, subscribe. We are a growing channel. I would really appreciate that. It means more to me than you will ever know. And with that said, let me down in the comments what you think. What's your favorite devil fruit if you could have one? And I will catch you guys next time. Peace.
I love the hustle, man. I be feeling like one of them ball playing, like Bird or Magic or something. But if I leave, the fans still gonna love me, man?